What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Dirty and Driven Podcast. My name is James Devinney. I am your host, joined today by the lovely, the talented, the beautiful Casey D, and the even more lovely, debatably as talented, way more beautiful, Victoria.
Hey.
And we're here to fill your Tuesday, or whatever day you're listening to this recording on, with love, peace, and joy.
Casey, we were at church this morning and somebody was like, oh, look, it's Beauty and the Beast. And James just goes, don't talk to Victoria like that.
Did James have his hair down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had my hair up.
James probably has that, like some of them videos that you see, it looks like a beautiful woman from behind, and then he turns around and ruins the whole video.
So,
It did. A guy I work with told me a story about that, how he was at a football game before, and he's like, yeah, dude, we were walking around checking all the chicks, and he goes, there was this one person there, and they had like some tight jeans on. We're like, oh damn, look at her, and then it turned around and it was a dude.
well, have you seen the shorts that James is wearing right now?
I was told earlier that you could see the curvature of the earth with these shorts on.
What's that supposed to mean?
Sky's out, thighs out.
I guess.
He said, look at a butt. Look at the butt on that.
Oh my God, Becky.
Yeah, he must work out.
Yeah.
Squats for Jesus.
Well, I have been, since I've been consistently back in the gym for 2 months now, my thighs have substantially grown. So these shorts don't fit like they used to, and it's laundry day, so I had no other pants.
Are you measuring your thighs?
Sometimes.
'Cause a lot of times we'll just look at stuff and say, damn, that's big. We don't pull out a tape measure.
And then you pull out a tape measure and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
never mind. It's average. It's average.
Yeah, it's all about perception, too.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. My thighs look huge in these tight shorts.
That's what I was talking about. My buddy and I, we never would diet. We wouldn't eat healthy. So we're like, dude, we're never going to stop eating the way we eat. So in bodybuilding or in just the way you look, our waist is always going to be this size. We're never going to stop eating. So that's why we started doing more pull-ups and more delt workout. That way we had a wider upper body to make our waist appear smaller.
Yeah.
Smart. And then people with small joints too, it helps look a lot better too with muscle on top of small joints.
By the way, we did come up with a mathematical equation of how many years it would take you to eat 1 mile of conies.
Assuming you ate one a day?
Assuming one a day and just going off of what they claim the length is, not necessarily the real length.
So the true 12 inches.
If you ate a full 12 inch of coney every single day.
Foot long coney. Yes.
Foot long, 12 inches, shoved down your throat, take you 14 and a half years to eat 1 mile of conies.
So obviously if you eat 2 a day, then you cut that in half.
Yeah.
Kind of like going from a 30-year to a 15-year.
Yes.
Mortgage.
Yes. Yeah. Is there interest though? I guess. Are you cutting away interest?
Yeah. If they talk mortgage loans and stuff to me in terms of conies, I could probably understand it a lot better.
Dude, that made me choke on the water.
I have no clue what you're talking about, this APR and variable rate.
But if you talk about CPR, conies
let's put it this way, Casey. Imagine a foot long cheese coney. Ah, okay, now.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, man.
Conies only get more expensive in the future.
Yeah.
Everything is.
So, there you go. That's how you're saving on interest. Because if you pay your house early, then you don't have to pay as much interest. So I guess that's the same thing.
If you eat more conies now, you're paying the lower price.
Yeah. Unless we hit a major depression and everything plummets.
I heard of a cool concept of a bar. Not heard. I saw it on one of the apps this morning. There's a bar across seas that the whole bar's concept is pretty much like the stock market. So instead of, now check this out. It's an ingenious idea. They have real time every single drink that they serve at this bar. All beers, all alcohols, all mixed drinks, all wines, everything in. It's a ticker that's constantly going across in the bar, real time, on what people are ordering. And the popular drink that people are ordering, the price on it goes up, okay?
Okay.
So since more people are buying it, the price is going up. So people are going to start buying that less because the price is getting more expensive. But then the drinks that aren't getting bought go cheaper down. So then they start buying and investing in those drinks, and they'll drive those prices. So it's a variable just up and down.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a kick-ass idea.
So, like, okay, so just to put in perspective here, so when the whole Bud Light thing, whenever that happened, so that bar, it's like you could get a Bud Light for like 50 cents.
Yeah,
$1.
pennies on the dollar. Yeah, something cheap.
And then so they say buy low, sell high. How does that apply to this bar? How do you sell high?
I'm assuming the people are drinking the beers that they're buying.
Yeah, they're
So
probably
it's-
not selling them back.
Yeah. So it's not like they're buying the beers cheap and then they're.
Where's this bar at?
Dude, I saw it this morning. You could probably look it up, but
A stock market bar or something?
yeah,
Dude,
do
I'm looking it
do a
up.
search on that.
Yeah. Keep talking.
Also, I noticed that the old certified wrench guy had to cancel his live Instagram live tonight, and I sent him a message saying we were bummed out because we're going to do real time commentary while we
On the podcast.
while we recorded this podcast.
Oh, I didn't see that you had to cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so there's a couple of them. So there's the drink exchange, stock market pricing
that's
system
kinda
designed to increase profit. The bar owner has complete control over the pricing parameters. So it looks like a software that you can buy for your bar.
Yeah, and you can just input all your drinks on it, probably.
There's one in Barcelona. So
That's
I
fine.
want to know where it is, and I want to show up, and I want to record a show there.
That's Barcelona sounds about right. The one that I saw.
Yeah. So if anybody that's listening has like a local drink exchange bar, stock market bar, let me know, and we might plan a visit to your city if it's in the budget.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, man. Yeah. Okay. So I'm on a website here, and it just shows different stuff. Like you can order on your phone. It shows you all the different prices of the bar, and then so the bar owner sets the pricing, so it's not going to drop down to like a quarter beer or something.
Right.
I guess they could if they wanted it to. But yeah, dude, I want to find out where we can find one of those.
And I think I explained it right. But so yeah, Colton had he had canceled his Instagram live, and when he did it last Sunday, you and I got on there and did a little razzing to him.
Yeah.
And one of the deals, there was a question. He was having an issue with something overheating on one of the
A loader, a front end loader.
Yeah, something was overheating, and he was trying to troubleshoot it, and I got on there and asked him if he had made sure that the washer fluid was full on it, because that could have been the culprit.
I asked him if he turned it off and back on again. Evidently,
Yeah,
he had
sometimes
tried
you
that.
get it. And I also said Control Alt Delete usually helps him.
And was he using a certified wrench to try and fix
That's
it,
right.
or was it uncertified?
Of course he would be.
He had to have been.
You know that he takes certified wrenches home. He just doesn't leave it at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's a loader from like the 90s, dude, I mean, you know how 90s technology was.
Sometimes you just gotta blow on the cartridge.
Yeah, blow on the cartridge. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that. Or slap the side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you got to hit the side and it starts working again. So I don't know. Colton, I know you're listening, man. So if you haven't tried those things, if you haven't figured it out yet, you might just try slapping the side of it and blowing on the cartridge.
Are y'all young enough to where you did that with those?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Jason, my little brother's in the corner over here listening, watching,
He has
judging.
no-
No one sits Jason in
Live
the corner.
studio audience.
He has no idea what we're talking about here.
Jason,
What did you have to pull out to blow on?
hey,
This is a family show, Casey.
I gotta hold back,
Track.
An 8-track?
dude.
You can.
What were you doing with an 8-track?
Well, there was a garage sale I was working, and we screwed with the 8 tracks all day because it was boring. So there were just a bunch of teenage guys surrounded by an 8-track player, and we're playing at full blast.
That's awesome.
8-track. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
What were you playing?
Some Christmas music.
Christmas music.
There's some crappy country songs.
Crappy country songs. Dude, he's probably listening to like George Strait.
Yeah,
just
Conway Twitty. He's calling Conway Twitty crappy.
Oh, this sucks.
That wasn't good.
Oh. Yeah, man. By the way, I had to shout a couple people out real quick. First of all, Instagram giveaways going on, dude. Casey chipped in a tool roll, which is a product that both him and I have in our trucks right now. Not a sponsor.
Yeah, no relation to Jelly Roll.
No relation to Jelly Roll.
Horrible.
James, you know who that is?
Yes, I know who Jelly Roll is. Do you know who that is?
I do.
Yeah. He has one song I like. You don't like Jelly Roll?
No, he's all right.
Yeah.
He was playing at the Honky Tonk on Friday.
He was, or
his songs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
Only talking I will not need a friend.
yeah, I like that song.
That's the only one I know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's the one that was
But I like
playing.
it. But anyways, Casey donated a tool roll. It's like a little canvas bag with zippers on it. Rolls up all your tools. I got a bunch of shit in there, dude. Like I replaced a pretty big hard metal toolbox. I took everything out of there and put it in that tool roll, and it fits in my truck now. That toolbox didn't.
Yeah, it's highly handy, man. I could really use probably 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah, they're nice. I mean, for small stuff. I mean, obviously, but I mean, if you're doing a quick little thing or just something you need some wrenches and sockets and tape measure, it'll fit all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of imitators out there too, but the official tool roll is the legit one.
Yeah.
And whenever we recorded probably 4 or 5 months ago, when I first had access to it, I rolled up here with the 6-pack of Coors Light long necks.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to walk into this professional building with the 6-pack in hand. So I emptied out my tool roll, all of my tools, and it had either 6 or 7 zippers that conveniently fit a long neck bottle in each one of the zippers. So I came in like all incognito, like an FBI agent.
Was that the day you dropped them all in the parking lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But fortunately, it wasn't the Silver Bullets. It was the new one, the Yinglings.
The Yinglings, yeah.
One of
Yeah.
the Yinglings. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's in there. Again, they're not a sponsor, but we use their products, so we thought, that'd be cool to put in the giveaway. So you win a tool roll, you win a Dirty and Driven shirt of color choice of yours. You get to choose the color. I don't. Words are hard. Black with the orange logo or orange with the black logo, and a sticker pack and handwritten thank you note for supporting us. So we're trying to hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. Hopefully by the time this airs, we'll be pretty well close. I mean, we're close now, but hopefully we'll be there. But that contest will end after this show comes out. A few days after this show comes out. So anyways, give us a follow on Instagram, share the post, give us a 5-star review to get some bonus entries.
You're currently at 984 followers.
Oh,
Boom.
getting close, man. I'm so close. So yeah, and you get bonus entries if you give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Bonus if you do both. If you do both, it's 3 extra entries per review. So anyways, that's going on. I want to shout a couple people out. First of all, our boy Clay. He said that Large Marge sent him. Turns out Casey is Large Marge.
Large
Well, hold on. Before you tell the story, I just want to say he gave us a $20 tip.
Boom.
So thanks, Clay. We really appreciate that, man. That helps the show greatly. And then also, I made friends with an accountant, so she hit me up. Her name is Reba Bush. So thank you for the support, Reba. She's local here. She has a bunch of construction clients, and she said, I'm gathering from your show that you don't like accountants. And it's not that I don't like accountants. I love accountants because I cannot understand accountants. It's just me and accountants don't always get along because we don't always think the same way. So I think that we frustrate each other. But she's cool. She's a really cool lady, and she really appreciates blue collar trades. So, shout out for that.
Accounting is very vital. I mean, we need it, and it also is it's the baby of accountability.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you can tie both of those together.
Sure. Yeah, and I like that face you just gave. So, anyways, man, we really appreciate the support. Or man, woman. Sister.
Don't assume.
And then And then shout out to my boy Luke over at Red Cat Studios. He's the one who's producing my band's album. He was telling me how he's a big fan of the show. Today, I actually just left his studio and we were finishing up our album, and he goes, man, it's kind of weird. I listen to your podcast all the time, and you're just like right behind me, like talking to me the whole time. And he's like, it's kind of a weird feeling.
Was he giving you praise and props right before he invoiced you to get a check?
No.
Dude, James,
I wasn't the one in control of the money.
Dude, your podcast is amazing. It's amazing. And by the way, here's the invoice, $1,500, James.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't listen to that damn show. Suckers.
But yeah, man, so just had to shout a couple people out there that are supporting the show. We really appreciate that. So yeah, Casey, why are you Large Marge?
Not so much Large Marge, but he was wanting to donate to the show, asking how, and I said, well, just, click on the old link, whatever. You'll find out how to do it. And I said, just tell him Large Marge sent you.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of the Large Marge deal? It was on Pee-wee's Big Adventure. By the way, rest in peace, Paul Rubens.
I never watched Pee-wee's Big
Pee-wee's
Adventure.
Playhouse and all that. It was huge back in the late 80s. But he had a movie, a spinoff off of his Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and it was called Pee-wee's Big Adventure, ironically. But one scene, Pee-wee gets picked up. He's not hijacking. Yeah, he's, what's it called? Not hijacking. You got your thumb up.
Oh, hitchhiking.
God, why did I say hijacking for? I'm not firing on all cylinders.
I guess hitchhiking could lead to hijacking.
And this big old burly lady picks him up in this semi, and she tells this story and stuff, and right at the end, she does this real scary face, and it scares the shit out of Pee-wee. Well, she drops him off at this bar, and right when he's getting out to go into the bar, he's scared shitless of this lady that just told the story. He looks back at her, and he pretty much gets last words of advice from her. She goes, "Hey, be sure to tell him Large Marge sent you." And then she pulls off, and then so he has that with him, and he walks into the bar, and everybody's having drinks, having a good time, and he walks in, and he goes, "Large Marge sent me," and then next you hear the record scratch, and you hear a beer bottle break on the ground, and it's like stone quiet, and Large Marge died in a wreck, 20 years ago on the highway right out there. So he was with the ghost of Large Marge. So that was a long-winded Large Marge story.
Oh, okay.
But Clay, very close friend of mine, and he listened to the podcast that we talked about going to Angles.
The gay bar?
Yeah, the gay bar in Oklahoma City. He goes, yeah, and he goes, not only that, but I forgot. He told me this, and I remembered it after he told me. He said, dude, when we went in there, the guy that took us, which we were kind of iffy if, which that's cool if he swung that way or this way, it's cool. He was ahead of us. Then Clay was behind the guy that we went with, and then it was me. Well, the guy goes in first, the guy that we're with that kind of swings that way. Then Clay goes in, and there's these guys standing where you're walking into the bar, and the guys are like, they look at Clay and they go, "Oh my God," to Clay. And then I'm behind Clay, and then I'm bigger than Clay is. And when I walk in, then they go, "Oh my God." And we had heard that. We kind of like buddied up together because we were just giggling. And the guy that we went with that was hoping to get the "Oh my God" didn't get any "Oh my Gods." So he was pissed off. He didn't get any of the "Oh my Gods." So yeah, Clay had reminded me that the other day after listening to the podcast. He goes, "Dude, you missed that part of the story, man."
Isn't that the thing about podcasting too? There's so much whenever we listen back that it's like, damn it.
Oh yeah.
Forgot to say that, or what was I trying to get to there,
Yeah, I get real time stuff, even like at the Canes Ballroom. I mean, all the badass acts that have been through there that I had no clue,
Yeah.
Van Halen and just all types of cool stuff,
Yeah. Silence.
So we got done with all the housekeeping, right?
Yeah. Well, are we just diving in already? 20 minutes, man.
No. Wow. So what's up, Victoria? You had your little trip this last week, right?
Yeah, I went to Houston for work.
How's Houston? Is it still humid as
Yeah,
all
it was
get out?
it was so hot.
Dude, it's humid as all get out here.
Yeah.
It's only like 95 today, but with the humidity, it feels like 105.
Oh, it's brutal.
Swampy.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack yesterday. I was running and I had to walk, dude. I ain't ever had to walk during a run.
Yeah, it's tough too whenever I fill up my glasses of wine and it's ice cold and I see all the condensation on the glass because all the humidity in the air.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit's because then the condensation starts dripping on your jeans if you're sitting down. Dude, it's tough. But you were running in this stuff?
Yeah. You're like, I was really getting tired and exhausted and sore.
Yeah.
Both of our pants were soaked, but mine was ass sweat, and yours was condensation from your wine glass.
Yeah, refilling.
No, it was good. It was a lot of fun. It was Houston Restaurant Week, so we got to eat lots of really good food. I was sad James wasn't there, so he couldn't eat my last bite that you always eat.
See, Victoria's dainty.
I listened to the episode from last week.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Victoria just always leaves one bite. Makes her feel skinny.
Well,
No. I just know my limits.
I gave James the stink eye when he said that crap. That's bullshit.
bullshit, you did.
Dude, you don't. I told you, man.
Dude, let's rewind the cameras.
Yeah, rewind the tape.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
I can hear you not giving me a stink eye in that episode.
Yeah, no, my parents never forced me to finish the plate, so.
Mine did.
That's a problem, I think.
No. It's not a problem because, like, why make yourself miserable?
Dad has
You can always eat it later.
Your one bite. You're gonna get $2
but-
for that one bite.
But the problem that you run into, which I run into a lot, which I don't have a problem really now, but if someone slaves for 3 or 4 hours cooking, a big ass meal, and they'll plop shit, and they might plop way more. Then you feel guilty because is that all you're gonna eat? Because you eat for 5 or 10 minutes for someone that cooked for 4 hours.
Well, no, good leftovers.
Great. Hey, that's a great response, right? But still, when you're getting stared at from the cook that sweat for 4 hours in the kitchen, and you've only eaten 3 or 4 bites, and you say, "No, I'm good. I'll eat something later."
James does that to me all the time. If you cook and then I eat 3 bites, you're like, "That's all you're gonna eat?" Like, well, yeah, I can have some later. But
Yeah, but you never do.
it was like, what was the last time we made like homemade? It was like DIY Mexican bowls or whatever, and I didn't even eat a single bite.
Didn't even touch it, and I was like, bruh.
That's what I'm saying.
I just wasn't hungry.
Yeah, I was like, dude.
So you see what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
I could eat it tomorrow. And then you're like, what? You're
But he
not
would.
even gonna-
But the kicker is, he would have felt better if you would have toughed it out and finished that.
Well, because like I don't make recipes, dude. I literally eat shit that I make on the grill. Like it is like whenever Victoria was gone this week, literally all I ate was steak and eggs.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me when I opened up the fridge yesterday and I was like, this is empty.
That is all I eat is steak, eggs, and occasionally chicken. Some veggies thrown in there, some blueberries. It's about all I eat. And whenever Victoria's gone, so it's like
We call it boy dinner.
So I was like, dang. Made these Mexican bowls. Like I don't really eat like rice unless it's like in the recipe that Victoria wants. And so I was like, dang, man. You're gonna eat the freaking bowl. Made this, slaved over it.
So what? Did you eat at any good restaurants? What was your favorite one?
Yeah, give him a shout out. Give a good restaurant a shout out.
There was this one place we went to called the Union Kitchen, and it was really good. They had the best appetizers. But it was just, they had everything. Pizza, burgers, pasta, steak.
Pizza burgers or pizza burgers?
Pizza, comma, burgers, comma.
So I saw a life hack not too long ago. At Costco, people would go and order the pizza, and then they'd order the Costco hot dog. And then they'd ditch the hot dog bun and put it on the pizza and make like a pizza dog.
Yeah, I can see that.
That sounds painful. But it was really good. And they had the best calamari. There was another restaurant. I went to a wine bar, and I'm not a wine drinker, but they had this 3-course meal with wine for only $49. It was a steal. And so like I had my salad with a glass of wine that was like mildly okay. And then we had these, what? Why is Jay?
I don't know. Jason just started laughing.
What's so fun?
I had a salad
So I
and a
had a
glass
salad
of wine.
with a glass of wine, which I was giving my parents real time, like, commentary about the wine because I hate wine. It was okay.
You can drink as much wine as you want when I am in a different state.
I had 3 glasses. And
I've seen this woman plow through some wine. It wasn't a fun day for me.
Until the bartender cut her off.
there was no bartender. And then I had this like bruschetta board. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then I had a chocolate like lava cake at the end with 3 glasses of wine. It was absolutely delicious. Why are you laughing? It's just a regular story.
Because I just pulled a nose hair out. It hurt so bad I started tearing up. And Jason started laughing at me.
Am I so boring that you feel like you need to like pick your own nose
No,
hairs?
I felt it rub up against the mic. It was sticking out, so I just plucked it. And it hurt so bad.
At least Casey appreciates me because he texted me today when I told him that I was coming. And he was like, oh, we'd love to have you. That way James will look deep into your eyes and give mine a break.
Sorry, I was trying to look deep into your eyes until they teared up. I thought it was going to be subtle. That was so freaking painful.
You're so gross.
He doesn't do this to me when it's just him and I recording.
I've never plucked a nose hair on air before.
He doesn't crack jokes.
No.
How does it feel for your first time?
Oh, I've plucked them, just not on air.
You don't treat me right, man.
I'm listening. Sorry, finish your story.
No, my story's done.
Oh, okay.
No, great story. Good job, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that was like a whole pointless 30 seconds that I just...
Yeah, this is her moment. And you turn it into all about your nose hairs.
It's always all about James.
Yeah.
It's just James's world and we're living in it. Yeah. Smug face.
So you went and recorded today at the studio for your album.
Yeah.
How were those 4 little strings you had to play on?
I've actually got 5.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Upgrades.
Big time. Big shot.
Damn.
I actually didn't play it all. We were just doing like our final listen of just making sure everything. I've already recorded the bass lines.
James just ran his big mouth.
I just ran my mouth.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Have you looked at using any AI to do any type of recording or writing songs for y'all?
No.
I bring that up because I saw something. We can't even imagine where AI is going. I know we talked about it before, but I saw something I had to talk about.
Okay.
Dude, I can't remember the guy. Big old dude. He does a great Jesse Ventura impersonation.
Who's Jesse Ventura?
Jesse the Body Ventura in Predator.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I
He was not only in Predator, but he came out and he wore a boa and stuff. He was a badass wrestler. He was in Buds. He was I don't know if he was an official Navy SEAL, but he was also he was a governor of Minnesota.
Okay.
But anyway, this guy does a good impersonation. I can't remember his name, but he has a podcast. Him and his buddy, check this out. They have a podcast, and they use this thing called Dudesy, Dudesy. Okay. And I think Dudesy might be an AI app, I'm thinking, but they've incorporated Dudesy into their podcast, and it's a really popular podcast. Well, Dudesy will write their podcast for them, like the template for them and stuff, and Dudesy, hey guys, great. And Dudesy looks at all of their social media from the past, both guys, that knows all of their humor, just their feelings, the way that they act, all this and that, and it takes all of that history of both these guys and it kind of helps write their deal.
Oh, that's kind of nuts.
So then they incorporate Dudesy with their podcast, and then they refer to Dudesy. Dudesy is listening to him talking, and still he's getting smarter while they're bullshitting and stuff, and they incorporate Dudesy. With that being said, you've got to check this out. They had Dudesy write a little over 1 hour stand-up comedy special.
Okay.
A 1 hour stand-up comedy special, pretending that it was Tom Brady performing it. And Dudesy not only wrote the 1 hour comedy special, but he did it in Tom Brady's voice.
Oh.
His tone, all that stuff. And it has zingers, it has stuff, it sets up stuff back and forth, it revisits stuff. And this whole Dudesy 1 hour thing, it's all AI. It's all just from, and it shops the whole internet from all comedy specials, all what people find funny, offensive, this and that. And this stand-up of this AI thing in Tom Brady's voice is what's funny.
That's nuts.
It's flawless. The only thing that I say flawless, it is flawed because the timing, when he sets up a joke, he doesn't he doesn't leave a good enough pause for you to laugh because he goes right into the next joke. This AI.
Oh, so they haven't figured that part out yet.
Yeah, this AI guy talking in Tom Brady's voice. It is dude, it is amazing. But you can kind of see where some of this AI stuff's going. With that being said, I guess Tom Brady's camp got so pissed off at this, they had like threatened to cease and desist, pull this crap down because how dare you use Tom Brady's likeness?
It's just code though, so it's not like.
Yeah, so I don't know why I went off on that, but I had to get that out. Man.
That is scary though.
Whenever I think about AI and like think about just the amount of code that is required to do this, I just think back to college where I had to create my own Minesweeper on Java.
I remember
with
that.
Java code, and I'm so bad at it, and it took me forever. And then I just think of AI, and I'm like, geez.
I remember when you did that.
Yeah, I think I just cheated the whole time.
Yeah, I think you did too.
I think I stole someone else's code.
That's scary though. Does your work use AI? Either of you?
No.
Any AI
not
been
that we're
incorporated?
aware of.
Not that you're
No.
aware.
I'm pretty sure refining is like 10, 15 years behind schedule because we're just now using Wi-Fi. I'm not joking. Like this year.
As opposed to like in what
hardwiring
like, are you
everything?
talking about your computer or are you talking about like field applications?
Out in the units.
I mean, I
We're
could kind of
just
see
now
that
using
because
like we just brought out Ethernet. Now we've got Wi-Fi. We're like behind
Well, a lot of the field stuff too, they'll still use telephone.
fiber. We use fiber.
No, you'll still use cell phone stuff where your Wi-Fi isn't available. So they're using a lot of mobile stuff via either iPads or
we use a lot of radio towers.
yeah.
the only thing I've used AI for is like if I'm trying to write something out and I want it to sound like a dumb hick did not write it, I will write out what I want to say and I've plugged it into Chat GPT and I've said like clean this up or make this sound better. And it's the same thing I wrote, but it just kind of fixes my grammatical mistakes or, you know, it just some of the weird little things that in my head sounded good, but didn't really translate on paper very well.
Oh, is that how you type out all your like cute text to me?
No, that's pure raw emotion.
Yeah.
Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Send a text saying I'm sorry.
I've used it for that. Yeah. No, like, it's not great at that stuff because like there was one time that like somebody was like really trying to get me to use it and it was like they're like, oh dude, just try it for like tell it to do blah blah blah, and it was like I was trying to do an Instagram post with it for Dirty and Driven, and I was like, okay, like write this out, write an Instagram post about this, make it sound like a blue collar guy said it, and like it wrote something out, but it still wasn't like great. So I didn't use it. So, I mean, I don't think it can really capture the emotion, but I mean, that's terrifying that it can replicate somebody's voice like that.
Oh, my favorite part
to a T.
Yeah, my favorite part of like ChatGPT or AI is they've started doing like covers of songs using like famous cartoon characters. So like there's like Plankton singing
Yeah, I've heard
Evanescence.
Well, they did like
or Mr. Krabs singing
like,
Queen.
Well, it's like they've done like
It's
Hank
so
Williams singing Kid Rock and
I heard
like,
Frank Sinatra doing "Boys in the Hood" by NWA.
Yeah.
I'm in love with it. It's so good.
Yeah, that's funny.
The Dudesy deal.
And the boys in the hood are always on. He comes hawking that trash. They'll pull your car.
Will Sasso is the guy that I was talking about. You've got to look him up and listen to his Jesse Ventura impersonations. But Will Sasso and Chad Coltgen. But yeah, that's that.
Well, to tie it back into last week's episode when you guys were talking about health and stuff,
I got a point
people
on this too.
use ChatGPT all the time for like meal plans. You just say like, hey, I want this many grams of protein, this many grams of carbs, this many fats in my for my day. Come up with a 7-day meal plan for me with a grocery list. And I don't like this or I have this allergy, and then boom.
Actually, what
Healthy
it does is it
meals.
just tells you how many chili cheese conies you can eat.
For your macros.
Yeah, for your macros.
You can have 3.5 chili cheese conies per day.
Yeah. And you need to get one without the bun and one with extra cheese.
Yeah, if you tell it like strictly, you can only use those ingredients for your diet. This is strictly my diet, but how much do I need to stay within parameters with strictly just chili or conies or buns and cheese? I can see that, yeah. And obviously the more information you get it, the more it would learn about your personal health
Yeah.
your blood pressure, your electrolyte levels, all this previous maybe stroke potential, stuff in your family, the more then it goes and it shops and it learns everything, all the history and the likelihood of someone if they ingest. I could see it putting together. I mean, being way quicker and smarter than really doctors when it comes down to it.
Yeah, at some point it probably will be. I mean, it's constantly learning, which is the crazy part.
Yeah.
But another point on last week's episode, we talked about like optimizing your health. I had a lot of people reach out to me about that, man. I think that's cool. And one of them was our boy Eric Strubig, big friend of the show.
Gang, gang.
He was like, dude, this is my kind of lunchbox hacks, because he's a mechanic and he's always traveling, sometimes far away. So if he's gone like overnight traveling, especially, he'll buy like those Uncle Ben's 1 minute rice packets. And then he'll go to like a grocery store in whatever town he's in, or a gas station or something, buy like chicken thighs, chicken breast, rotisserie chicken, something like that. And he'll just have like those microwave instant rices. And then it's like, boom, ready to go. And he can do that pretty easily. So I was like, that's a hell of an idea. Or if you're on a road crew and you can go to a gas station, microwave it.
They've also created, how you can get like mandarin oranges in the little plastic cups?
Yeah.
You can do that for veggies now. So you could get those like veggies, and then you can get the prepackaged rice. And then Costco has like 3-ounce prepackaged cooked chicken. Boom, there's a meal.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's all, dude. Like I said, I know what I know what I need to do. But if you go into a gas station, you do have those healthy options available. They might cost a little more than obviously going to a grocery store, but sometimes it's tough when you're not disciplined like me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you walk in and sometimes you go, Although I'll tell you what's pissed me off is like if I've walked into a gas station before and it's like it had a Hardee's and this is before I was watching my health, but I was watching my money. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about there.
They got those and Carl's Jr. Man, they're great.
Yeah, we went to one that had the Hardee's and I was like, I don't want to spend $8 on a cheeseburger, so I'm just gonna go over here and get like a gas station lunch. And yeah, dude, that was way more expensive. I got like beef jerky and like some sunflower seeds and some nuts, and it was like, all right, yeah, this would be way cheaper. It was like $15. I was like, damn, dude, I should just bought a cheeseburger meal for like $8.
Did you ever hear why beef jerky is so expensive?
No.
I'd be curious to know.
And I could be wrong. Remember, everything that we do, 80% is the truth and the other 20% is fat. So it's like 80-20 ground beef.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I think, they dehydrate the meat to make the beef jerky. They lose, it's a quarter of the weight by the time it's said and done is what you get out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you buy a volume of, let's say 100 pounds, you'll only get 25 pounds of meat by the time it dehydrates. And obviously when you're making beef jerky, I do know that you're not supposed to have any, it's supposed to be as lean as possible because you don't want any fat because fat
doesn't work.
Chewy, gummy, just blah.
Yeah, I've had some jerky that I've made before that had a little fat in it.
So imagine that. Now you've got more, and I could be wrong here, but now you've got a premium cut of whatever the meat is.
Yeah.
That it's not a fat content. It's lean as all get out. Then you lose 75% of pretty much its value.
Yeah.
Because it's reducing down to...
It's just smaller. Plus, it takes so long to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. I never thought about the weight distribution. You out of here? See you, buddy.
Or loss.
We lost our studio audience.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need to do is like...
He just walked out.
That'd be an option to lose weight. See you, Jason.
Just eat straight beef jerky?
Getting a dehydrator like you do to make beef jerky.
We have one.
Yeah, just get into a person physically get into it to lose weight.
Just get it.
Yes.
I think that you could just go outside right now
Yeah.
because it's hot. It's really hot outside.
But with my cramping issues, dude, I'd be locked up quick.
You could take what's that, Midol, or what's the
For cramps?
yeah
That women take?
Yeah.
Midol?
yeah.
I don't. Okay.
I'm not looking at you, Victoria.
Man.
I just looked at her because I was asking if I was right.
We don't even have that in the house.
Yeah, you don't. I'm just saying it might help Casey. I didn't accuse you of taking it.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, let's roll into our topic today.
Hey, and one other thing before we roll into this topic for 15 minminutes. That tool, the tool bag giveaway.
Yeah.
How many people are opting for them tool bags right now? A bunch of them.
How many people are in it as of now?
Yeah. I mean, how many think? Just not without looking, just quite a few, right?
Yeah.
A lot of tool bag winners out there.
Yeah. Oh.
Man, I don't know. I had to give a
bunch
shout
of
out.
tool bags out there, huh?
Yeah, dude. I have to give a shout out to all the tool bags listening, man.
There we go. That's
What?
that's the name of our audience now. The
Is
tool
it?
bags. I like that, dude.
Kind of has a ring to it.
It's got a ring to it. Now people might say you're just ripping off the dirt bags, but we're not, because that's dirt and this is tools. I like it, dude. That could be the name of the audience.
Yeah. Who's the dirt bags?
That's Luke,
Oh, the guy that you had on.
the guy that was on last Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's got the dirt bags. So we could be the tool bags.
Yeah, the tools, man. I like
the tools, or just the tools.
I mean, wrenching people.
How about that? How about our audience? Just a bunch of tools, man. They're all useful. They're resourceful. They can fix anything. Bunch of tools.
Yeah, we'll put it out there. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try that out. What's up, tools? I like that too. That's like a middle school insult.
Yeah. Well, I like tool bags. Tool bags sounds pretty good too.
Do you like just the tools or tool bags?
Tool bags.
Speaking of tool,
What do you
tool
think,
bag,
Victoria?
nah, I find it really stupid. But speaking of tool bags, we were on the way to the Houston airport yesterday morning. Me and two of my coworkers, and
You want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, do you want to drop some names,
Yeah, come on. And middle name, social security numbers. Come on.
addresses, workplace?
Come on. Digits.
well, we all work
DMs.
at the Ponca City Refinery. But
DMs.
shout out to Trent and Landon, I guess.
That was a whisper out. I'd like to give a whisper out. I'd like to give a shout out.
I ain't one
We-
much for shouting.
So we dropped off the rental car, and at the Houston, like the George Bush Intercontinental Airport, the rental car place is like kind of far from the airport, so you have to drop off and then you have to take a shuttle bus to the actual airport. So we get on the shuttle bus. It's like 7:30 a.m. and there's this guy who has I think it was like a Husky or a Northern Tools tool bag, and he's also holding a big pink, like not Stanley Cup tumbler, but like a
Like a Yeti?
hydro flask
Oh, okay.
tumbler, like this big. And it's pink. It's got all these cute little like stickers on them. And
About the size of a coney for the listeners.
Yeah.
yeah, it was thick. That like
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
big diameter.
Coney
A
bratwurst.
thick coney?
Yeah.
Damn. Keep going.
And he's like lifting up his tool bag, and he's also lifting up the suitcase. Well, he drops this tumbler.
Did it tumble?
It tumbled. Oh, dang, dude. That's a knee
It
slapper.
took a tumble. And luckily, we were sitting far enough away from where he dropped his tumbler, because I'm talking like 30 to 40 ounces of bourbon and Sprite,
Oh, no.
like just spray everywhere. It's 7 a.m. And it stunk up the bus. And he just like looks down. It took him a really long time to realize he had spilled it. And it got on people's shoes and pants. And you're going to the airport, so it's not like you can just go change real quick. So I felt really bad for whoever it spilled on their pants. And he just like looks down, he's like, hee hee, oops. And he just picks up the rest of his tumbler and he just like downs his bourbon
Yeah.
and Sprite
Yeah.
at 7 a.m.
The worst part about that is you have to finish that before you go to security. And you're
And
at the airport.
it was only a 5-minute shuttle.
Yeah.
So I just think like, 40 ounces of bourbon and Sprite in that time frame. Like, there's no way that this man was okay. He also was like, oops, hee hee. He took it. He just thought it was the funniest thing on the planet. And all of us were like, this is disgusting. The bus smelled so bad.
Well, what you're supposed to yell when that happens, and I learned this in college, is you're supposed to start chanting, Zamboni, Zamboni, and then you
That's
have to
like
watch
the
the guy
biggest-
suck it off the floor
Oh,
of the freaking airport bus.
that was the biggest party foul I've seen in a while.
Yeah, you should have made him Zamboni it.
Oh my gosh, it was disgusting. At first, we thought it was beer, and then as it like permeated the bus, we realized it was bourbon and Sprite.
So people did that. They suck drinks off the ground?
Yeah.
In
Or
college.
the table.
Yeah, or the table. Usually
you
the
don't,
table.
you don't, when you're in college, you're so poor, you can't waste it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like them people doing the drinking beers out of shoes.
Oh, the shoey?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've done some shoeys in my
Ew.
time. Oh, yeah.
Ew.
So that's a rugby tradition. So the man of the match, or if you screw up, if singing rugby songs, because rugby, the social aspect is just as important as the game itself. So you beat the living daylights out of each other for 80 minutes on the field, and then you go and then you sing songs and drink beer together. Well, if you're singing a song and you mess up, you have, people start chanting "shoot the boot," and then somebody takes off their cleat and a bunch of people pour beer into it, and then you have to chug that. And I've had to do a couple of those in my time. Daniel Ricciardo, the Formula One driver, he does a shoey every time he podiums.
Yeah.
So
Why is he from like New Zealand or Australia? Or
Australia.
something?
Yeah, he's from Australia.
yeah, he's a wild dude. He's funny. But yeah, that's a rugby thing too. It's you got to do that if you mess up in a song.
We just got into your rugby wheelhouse, didn't we?
Oh yeah, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
He was.
It doesn't taste good, man. I mean, you get like some natty light, some warm natty light, and like some just random other mix. Once they introduced seltzers, dude.
What was that one like rum that we used to drink that was absolutely atrocious?
Oh, the old 111 proof.
What was it called? It was so disgusting. We drank it one night watching Moana.
Yeah. Oh, crap. Cruzan 151,
rum.
dude.
151 Cruzan. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Cruzan and Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Was it dark rum?
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, it was costly.
It's coast.
I don't like
It
that
was
dark
black
stuff.
syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but once they introduced seltzers, like once people started drinking those and you had to shoot the boot, you'd have like Natty Light and like White Claws and Truly Seltzer, because there'd be girls at the social too, and like everybody just pour a little bit in. Oh, dude. Then and it just tastes like that and grass and foot sweat. It's gross, man. It'd usually be like the nastiest one too that someone's like duct taped together and still wears, and yeah, dude, that's shooting the boot for you. Why did we start talking about that?
The guy
Zambonis.
spilled his drink.
Oh yeah,
Guy spilled his drink.
I
Zambonis,
still
yeah.
can't get over that. And he just looked miserable.
He probably was if he was drinking at 7 a.m. on his way to the airport.
Honestly, there was no way that guy was not an alcoholic.
We had to do what do they call those storyboards where you start here but it shows the destination at the bottom
Yeah.
to where, or it's kind of like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You ever hear that?
Mm-hmm. Everything
heard
within
of that?
7 degrees, everything goes back to Kevin Bacon. You can tie any subject within 7 degrees.
You could
back to Kevin
tie
Bacon.
any actor or actress or person to Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
Kevin Bacon was in, Footloose, that also starred so-and-so, which so-and-so was the actress. And then when it's all said and done, it's somehow you can roundabout get back to him. Mm-hmm. I was thinking the same way. How did we get to the shoey from the way we opened the podcast? Well, how to do it. And this transitioned into this.
Yeah, I feel like you and I are really good about that too, Casey. We just go so far off, and then it's like so many people hit me up and they're like, "You guys have such squirrel brains," and it's like, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's part of the fun. Welcome to the Dirty and Driven podcast. If you don't like it, fuck off.
Yep. I also call myself off topic because I can surely steer us off topic real easy.
You can call me anything but late for dinner.
You are late for dinner, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Dude, he's
Late to everything.
late to everything.
Was
Yeah.
not late to the wedding, though.
Actually, you were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Casey is my witness.
But yeah, but that's a different story for a
Different story.
time.
We've already told that one on the show, I think.
No,
I
we
don't
have
know.
not and will not.
Okay.
And I noticed the preacher did get either him or I think
That was
you or
quite possibly the shortest wedding ever.
hey, that's
That's
short and
old
sweet.
news, man. That was like 6 months ago.
But the preacher did give you, I think was it him that gave you a shout out for eating all them hot dogs in high school?
What is
Yeah.
up with you two and hot dogs now that I
Dude,
think about it?
what?
well, Casey, what was the word
What?
that you used last week?
What's wrong?
I love hot dogs, but now that just made me realize that you both are like
So? What? What?
lovers of the dog.
What?
Call me Joey Chestnut.
Okay.
Joey Jaws Chestnut.
You know who Joey Chestnut is?
Yes, I know who Joey Chestnut is.
All right. Dude, we need to get Joey Chestnut on the podcast.
I wonder what old Kobayashi's doing because he's the OG.
You guys need to somehow
not familiar.
figure out how
Till
to
they
get
banned him
either
off of
like
Coney
the
Island.
Ballpark Franks or Sonic
What about Eric Badlands
To-
Booker? He was another one.
to sponsor this show because you guys love hot dogs so
Or
much.
Eater X.
Actually, I haven't eaten a hot dog in a long time. But
I love hot dogs. They're so
I eat bratwursts a lot, though.
Yeah, brats are good.
I'm a big brat guy.
If you do get hot dogs, get the all beefs. A little recommendation for everybody.
I get the German bratwurst from
Oh
Aldi,
my
and those are
gosh, could
delicious.
you imagine if the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile showed up and you guys could record a podcast in it?
You know, me and Victoria have a picture in front of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty terrible
it was at
picture,
the
but
Austin racetrack. Went to a Formula One race, and lo and behold, there it was.
the Wienermobile.
Wienermobile.
I think the Sonic Footlong Coney Mobile would give the Oscar one a run for its money.
Does Sonic have that?
Yeah.
They
Good.
do?
Do they actually?
I know.
Oh. I was
They
like,
should.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
That'd be really
that'd
fun.
be like the Wacky Wagon. That could also
'Cause
okay.
it's the Wacky
so,
Pack.
so you could do like a marijuana dispensary / hot dog truck and call it the Wacky Wagon.
Are you allowed to dispense from a truck? Oh wait, no, they do that in New Orleans, remember?
Yeah, I mean, you may not be able to in Oklahoma, but I'm sure you could somewhere.
New Orleans. Anything is possible there.
It could be a coney front that the front looks like they're selling conies, but really they're slinging drugs.
We make more on the back door than we do the front door.
Kind of like they did. What was it on Friday? Oh, Big Perm. Big Perm drove the ice cream truck. But
Haven't
really,
seen
Big
that.
Perm was. I think he was slinging rocks out of the old ice cream truck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, you get people high. Well, it's like the taco truck that used to post up in front of that marijuana dispensary that closed down here recently.
Oh, on the corner of 14th and
in Highland.
Highland, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I bet that taco truck was making more than the dispensary.
Those tacos were good though.
Yeah, Victoria got high and ate some.
I've never done drugs in my life.
Oh, well, Victoria.
I just
ate some.
saw it one day and I was like, ooh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, so they probably made more. Kind of like I saw Girl Scouts posted outside of a dispensary one time. I was like, dude,
Genius.
you go and you buy your Girl Scout cookies marijuana, and then you walk out and you buy your Girl Scout cookies.
Well, that's the same as I think a smart bet would be to put up pawn shops outside of casinos
Ooh, nice.
like that.
Yeah, dude, that's good. If you can make it happen, yeah. I mean, but like all the casinos around here, you're kind of landlocked. Out there at Osage, though, dude, you could do that.
No, you could do that.
You could do that at Osage.
Of course you could.
Yeah. There we go. We could open the
Our
Dirty
$1
and Driven
million.
Pawn Shop. Dude, that's like one thing that like...
Oh, that sounds fun. Like
if I
Dirty
had-
and Driven Pawn Shop because it sounds a lot like Dirty and Driven Podcast. Pawn
Yeah, it has a P in it.
We're going to take that back to the drawing board.
PAWD cast.
Yeah, there's a couple
Pod.
letters that are the same at the end of that as podcast. Let's see. A P.
Okay, I really thought I was onto something here.
Shop. Well, shop is a separate
You know what,
word.
Victoria? That's the sign of a true comedian. You know, we always talk about how you're actually pretty funny. That's a sign of a good comedian. If you land all your jokes, you're not a good comedian because you're not throwing it all out there.
Well, she stayed in character too. She didn't. It's not like she backed off of it. She was still going
Yeah,
for it.
good for you.
I'm still proud of the idea.
As a fellow comedian, like I'd say 70% of my jokes bomb. It's like, but when they do hit, it's like they kill. But you never know if they're going to be good or not until you throw them out there. So good for you for sticking to your guns, throwing it out there. This one didn't quite hit, but I respect the grind.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel right now.
I don't know. You listen to, I don't know how many 70 some odd episodes we have out there, 60 some. I don't know how many episodes we have out there. I'm sure that there's a lot of jokes that I haven't hit. There's probably been several on this show.
I'm sure those 3 that never made it, I was just killing it the whole time.
You know, we don't have to talk about those 3 that didn't get recorded.
You know, we do have to bring it up every episode.
Yeah.
Those were very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the best.
Yeah.
But we're just going to chalk those up to good memories with friends. If you're new here, we had some episodes that we all 3 sat down to record and they didn't.
Conveniently got lost.
It was each time that Victoria had joined us.
Yeah, which really sucked because I had to like beg her to come on. And then I was like, yes, I'm so happy she's going to record with us. And then technical difficulties.
Yeah, you did me dirty, man.
Well,
Yeah, and I heard there was strife in the relationship and that the marriage was almost called off.
it was
due to
almost
that.
called off.
Yeah.
In fact, the words were that night, quote, "Dirty and Driven is going to be the death of me," end quote.
I actually did say that.
She did say that.
I think that's the first time I've used strive in a sentence, but it felt good.
It felt
It
good.
sounded nice.
All right, dude, we're almost at an hour, so let's
Well, are we going to really
topic.
touch a topic? We're going to try to dive in and out.
I'm gonna touch this topic like I was about to make a priest joke, but I'm not going to.
Are we going to go ahead and start?
No.
Are we going to go ahead and start wrapping up and then drag it on for another 30 or 45 minutes?
Yeah.
You guys are really good at that.
Well, I mean,
All right,
look,
we need to start wrapping up.
Look, you know what? So I don't know if Oklahoma's the South or the Midwest. I mean, it's kind of the Mid-South, I guess, is what they call it. So we do have some Southern traditions.
That is the name of the most popular bike race in the world.
Well,
In
that's
Stillwater,
an inside.
Oklahoma.
You can't do inside jokes on the podcast.
What, Mid-South? Dude, Mid-South wrestling was the shit back in the day. They had all their areas. And Mid-South was the shit.
Oklahoma's the Mid-South. Would we agree with that? Like, we got some Southern traditions and some Midwest in us.
Junkyard dog.
So, but what I'm getting at with this is we do adopt the Midwest goodbye.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I don't know if he was Mid-South or not. Keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I'm just I'm just saying we have the Midwest goodbye on this show. So we'll say, yeah, we're wrapping up, and then it's another, 3 hours if we're lucky before we get out of here.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So
Get into it, yeah.
today's topic is we talked to a master online marketer on Friday's show. Great episode. If you want to get into online marketing, I think that's a great place to get started. Listening to that show, listening to him as a resource, checking out his stuff. That's Luke Egebrotten, Phaser Marketing.
That guy was is amazing, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And before you get into this deal, I know that's his lane. What he deals, you could probably explain it better, marketing and dealing with his area that he deals with. But people that are studs in their lane, it's just awesome. It's awesome to, in their own lane, knowing their own business, man. Mm-hmm. It's kick ass to listen to those type of people, man.
I love listening to people who are passionate about what they do and knowledgeable about what they do.
And have a lot of value to share.
And have a lot of value to share.
Good job, James.
Yeah. So I do love that. Well, that's why I like, Joe Rogan podcast, for example. He has people who are on who they're just random people, but they are experts of whatever they do.
Right.
I mean, it may be beekeeping. It might be a rock star. It might be a Freemason. It's just whoever it is on his show is just experts in what they do. Well, I try to do that with a lot of our guests as people who are experts at something or have a lot of knowledge about something. Or sometimes they're just cool people that are fun to talk to. But Luke, he really knows stuff. So anyways, if you want to dabble and get into marketing, start to understand it better, he's your guy there. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper on kind of like building, like why you should build an online presence, not so much the nitty gritty of building it, but why you should. And also what you should maybe try to avoid when you are representing yourself online. So, like, for one, I'd say you should, because the biggest benefit I've had from getting active on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook to an extent, but more so Instagram and LinkedIn, is the community, dude. I mean, I tell Victoria all the time, I'm like, it's official that like some of my closest friends now, I've never met in person and they live in other states. So
I'm starting to feel a little bit of that love myself.
Yeah. I mean, the people who support this project are incredible.
It's cool because obviously have something in common.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting a little bit of a, feedback, good or bad, at least there's some common ground there,
Yeah. Well, and I like it when people listen to the show and they say, hey, I like that you guys said this. I didn't like this. You guys should do this segment. You should talk about this. Like, I love that, man. That is really cool to me whenever people talk about that and give us that feedback, because that's friends. That is friends that we've made giving us advice or feedback. So I think that you can build a hell of a community just by getting involved online, posting things, just sharing what you do, following people, not being afraid to DM someone and just saying, hey, here's a little bit about me. I'd love to talk to you more. Or, hey, I saw that you posted this. I'd like to ask you some more questions. And because most guys will talk to you and girls will talk to you. So I think that it's really cool to do that, man. I've learned so much from the people that we've connected with online through Dirty and Driven.
Yeah, it's amazing how many opportunities and doors it may open
Yeah.
with connecting with people like that, and they might know somebody that can get you hooked up with this or the right type of resources, and just it's a breath,
The breath.
yeah.
Breadth.
But it has a D in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, breadth.
It's like bread, TH.
See, I tried to use another word. Dude, I exhausted myself on that last word that I tried to do another one. And
You're like,
just
oh, I
butchered
got
it.
this.
I'm tired, man.
Yeah, you just worked.
Well, if you want to call it work.
Yeah. He just took a nap on someone's dime.
Well, did you notice we're wearing like matching shoes?
Are we? I got made fun of my shoes, my sandals the other day from this guy that.
Your Birks?
Yeah, he was calling me a hippie Yankee or something because I was wearing these
These shoes
Birkenstock
are so
sandals.
comfy.
Do you wear Birks to work? Or do you take like your work boots off?
No,
because
I have the steel toes
Oh.
in hand.
okay. I figured I just
Steel toe Birks?
Yeah. Whenever the safety guy rolls up, them steel toes go on. You know what
I didn't know if you were allowed to wear those inside the building.
Yeah, in air conditioning around computers. Yeah, as long as there's no one around, no brass around.
Okay. So you're not supposed to.
But if you hear that door squeak, then you sit up, in attention. You know what I mean.
Yeah, hide your feet a little bit and just kind of start kicking the steel
They call
toes
that
on.
parade stance when you're standing and you put your arms behind your back. That's what they call that in the military, I think.
Yeah. So next one, dude, is marketing yourself. I think that obviously everybody knows that building an online presence is a great way to market yourself, whether it be if you own a company, obviously you can market your business really well. And who do you want to market to? Okay, yeah, maybe potential clients. Most guys are like, dude, I don't have the need for more work right now. I'm turning down work. I don't want more people calling me. I want to finish the work I have and just pick up stuff for my usuals. Okay. Well, maybe you don't need more work. Maybe you're starting out and you do want work. Then obviously advertising on social media is great for that. But also you're advertising to employees. So you want people to know, everybody says, there's no one out there who wants to work. It's not that necessarily. It's that they don't know you exist.
Yeah.
Because you're not marketing to the people that you want to come work for you. So that's another great reason to get online presence. Get a website, get a social media, get somewhere where people can contact you and Google you. And like if you're active on Instagram, you should probably have a website because people might look you up and say, oh, okay, yeah, here's this guy's company. Here's the work they do. I have talked to him on Instagram. Like, this is cool that he does this. Maybe I do want to go work for him. So that's a great way to do it. But also, if you're an employee or somebody seeking work, or you might be seeking work in the future, dude, getting on social media, man. Instagram, LinkedIn, that's a great way to reach out. I see a lot of guys on social media, they'll post something, they're like, hey, I'm willing to move anywhere in the country. I just want an equipment operating job. I'm willing to learn. I have no experience, or I have some experience, or this, that, the other, but I just want a new start. Where can I go? And people comment, they'll be like, dude, call this guy. Or somebody will comment, and they'll be like, hey, I will hire you right now. Call me. And, that's how a lot of people get jobs, but they would never do that if they're not online, have an online presence.
Yeah, you see that a lot with LinkedIn for sure.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook the other day. Somebody posted in like a construction group, and someone that I know was like,
so there you go. So there's another deal too. Let's say, for instance, Facebook or any of the social media apps, you can hone in on your own craft that you like. You can literally type in bulldozer, excavator in the search bar on one of them social media apps and probably find a group that is strictly dedicated to the employment or wrenching talk or you can narrow it down to the field. Then you're in the wheelhouse of the people that could probably put you in position for that job that you're seeking.
Yeah. And another reason this goes back to the community too, is even if you don't own your own business, you can call people that do, or you can call people or message people that operate. Like I've had people hit me up through Dirty and Driven social media and they're like, hey, I'm new to operating. I have some questions. And I'm like, dude, I'm not really an equipment operator, but I know some badass equipment operators. I've had guys hit me up and they ask mechanicking questions. And I'm like, I am for sure not a mechanic, but here's some guys that you can message and they'll talk to you. And so that's pretty cool whenever you can do that.
Well, that one smart guy, I could try to name drop Albert Einstein or somebody saying you're not expected to know everything, but if you know how to get to the answer via connections or your Rolodex or little search here or there, that's just as valuable as trying to know everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I don't try to know everything. I mean, that was one thing I would tell teachers all the time in school. Is like, I don't need to know this bullshit.
Well, and we deal with that, at work or other things I deal with is, for one, don't claim like you know everything. If you don't know the answer, be honest. Say, you know what? I don't know, but give me just, 15, 20 minutes. Let me make a few phone calls. I will find the answer.
Yeah.
Let me get back to you.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than, people can see through bullshit real easy, and it's better than
rambling your way
bullshitting
through
and probably being wrong instead of being forthcoming. And
Yeah. Well, and if you're like a lot of people, you may not know people that like relate to you or have the same issues as you or the same career as you. And so you might be like, there's guys that I talk to that we share similar issues as business owners, or like they also are in the industry and like they've done a lot of things, working long hours and had to go through like marital adjustments and stuff like that. Like there's been these guys that I've called whenever like Victoria and I have, had little marriage bouts here and there as most healthy couples do. And like, there's guys that I call, I'm like, dude, I could use some advice right now. And there's guys that call me and they have issues or problems or, just looking for someone to relate to. And it's like, hey man, blah, blah, blah. Or like, I look at this podcast, me and Colton with Certified Ranch, like I ask that dude questions daily. Like we probably talk every day just about podcasting shit. So it's good, man. It's good to have those resources. I've mentioned it to you before. I'm kind of pointing at you, but it's good to have someone to talk to for mental health. We can tie that back into that. But relationship wise, right before you and Victoria got married, one advice that I gave to you, which you might have heard, and it's good friendship wise, it's good to have your significant other to be able to talk to. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you should be able to talk to them about everything. But sometimes it's good to have that friend outside of the marriage that you can trust, that is a good friend that you can depend on to give you good, solid advice to lean on and let them know, hey, I'm going through a little bit of this. Hopefully I'm not looking at it the wrong way. Am I not attacking? Am I going about it the right way? I mean, please help me out. It's good to have that friend separate from a relationship to hopefully just lean on and get you through times like that.
It makes a big difference for sure.
Yeah.
They don't need to know every damn thing that goes on. If you put the toilet seat up or down, all that. They don't need to know all that, but it's still good to have someone to talk to.
Yeah. And sometimes, like I said, I don't really have like a lot of the people that I hang out with are, the top two people I hang out with are sitting in front of microphones in this room right now.
We made the cut.
You made the cut.
We made the cut.
So
I hope we would.
You guys are like really the only people that I talk to that much. And then like I have other friends, but they're single dudes that are partying, hanging out, and like, they live different careers, different lifestyles, and like they're still kicking ass and doing stuff, but it's just they have different problems, I guess. So it's not that I only call people to talk about problems, but it's just like I still like to call those guys and talk to them and hear about what's going on. But it's like I'm not going to call them to get like collaborate on, hey man, I'm working through some ideas for the podcast, or hey man, I need some marital advice, or
right.
Stuff like I'm not calling them for that reason. They're not calling me for that reason. So every now and then it's still calling like, hey man, you still kicking ass? Yeah. You still kicking ass? Yeah. Okay, cool. And it's like, that's fun, but it's still awesome to get on like social media and stuff like that and meet some people and have good relationships. And now like I get people that are like they're friends and they'll text me or call me and they're like, dude, here's some shit you need to do on Dirty and Driven. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we can talk through that stuff. And they're not being annoying and I'm not, abusing the same. Like we're friends,
Right.
we just talk like friends, and it's cool to have that. So, the community, the advertising aspect, that's obviously a good reason to get on there. And I think that like Luke talked about, it's good to have a website too. If you have a company or if you're, somebody who's trying to kind of get seen, like it's good to funnel people to that. Cause if somebody Googles the podcast, for example, somebody Googles Dirty and Driven, like, sure, they might see the Instagram, but they might go, I don't have an Instagram. And now we have a lot of listeners that don't have an Instagram, and maybe they have a Facebook, but a lot of them just aren't on social media at all. Cause a lot of people in this industry don't give a shit about social media, which is cool. And they find us somehow or another, and they want to hit us up on our website, and that's cool.
I find social media also a great learning tool if you filter out the algorithm to good educational stuff. Now, granted, I still like, looking at funny stuff, but man, if you narrow it down to the field that you're interested in, you can learn so much. Not only maybe from videos, what somebody did right or wrong, but I a lot of times go through the comment sections of a certain how-to deal, and then that guy's an idiot. Yeah, I agree with him, man. That guy is an idiot. Don't you ever do that. The code says to do this, and there's a lot of good information out there.
Yeah, and there are two kind of like weird downsides to social media. One, it creates an echo chamber at times.
It does.
So, especially with like the newer algorithms in the last like year or two, it's like you only see the stuff that's relevant to what you like. So you start thinking, there's times where I'm like, damn, dude, we're really making a difference. We're really blah, blah. But it's like, it's like you start seeing, it's like, yeah, man, the industry's getting better. It's changing. There's more people doing this, that, the other. But there's not really as much change as you think. Now, there is a lot of change, a lot of improvements and stuff like that happening in the industry. But you start seeing more and you're like, yes. But then you kind of step back and you realize you're like, the people that are actually on here, few and far between, that are doing this really badass stuff. There's still a lot of work to be done, but social media makes it perceived that everybody thinks like you and everybody agrees with you and everybody's on the same plane as you.
Yeah, I think the same thing goes even like with politics. Not to get political, but if you only get your information from one source or two sources, instead of looking at maybe all sources, then maybe get some stuff outside of them sources and hopefully get all different angles, then put together your own conclusion of whatever you're looking at.
Well, if you hate Donald Trump, your thing's going to come up with everybody hates Donald Trump. Nobody agrees with him. But if you love Donald Trump, it's everybody you follow, everybody you love. They all love Donald Trump
normally.
Too.
Depends on if you're on Meta or Instagram, and that's still owned by a leftist, and they'll still try to pepper in the how Donald Trump is a bad man.
Yeah. So
damn, I got it in there. See that? I tried to just touch on it, but James elaborated a little bit more.
Time.
He got a full finger in.
I was about 2 knuckles deep on that one.
2?
Yeah.
Damn.
The amount of eye contact between you two in that conversation was a little concerning.
I was trying to look at you to break the tension, but it just made it more.
I'm just going to keep my eyes down.
But yeah, dude. And the other downside to it also is like, I mean, you can get sucked in real easy because that algorithm, it's targeting the things that you like and you want to see. So that dopamine hit is just over. Like, I remember old school Instagram when it was like, it went in order of like when people posted stuff. It wasn't like a competition. It wasn't an algorithm. It was just like, I posted this at 6 o'clock and you posted at 6:01. Like, okay, there's yours and then mine's after it. And like, but you'd run out of things to scroll through.
Yeah, it might get lost in the ether down at the bottom.
Yeah. You'd run out, like you'd scroll to the end. You're like, oh, I already checked it. And then you're done. Like you get off the app. Well, now it's like, they want you to keep scrolling. That's why they call it death scrolling. Yeah. So, but anyways, man, what you and I were wanting to talk about, because we saw some fine examples of this here recently, is how not to present yourself on social media.
Well, I think how not, for one, if you're an employee looking for future work, keep in mind that your social media footprint, whether it's the Facebooks, Instagrams, I don't know so much about Twitters, but the stuff that the potential future employer can do research on you, make sure that if you have any demons in the closet or any unflattering things that might make you look bad for that potential job, pretty much if they have access to it, make sure that stuff is scrubbed out of there if you're really serious about your job.
Yeah. I mean, don't. And if you're an employer, man, don't hit someone too hard for their social media. But like, if you get on there and it's just,
but dude, it
bad
happens.
stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
it was like, for example, my boss had interviewed somebody recently, and on their LinkedIn, they talked about how much they loved working from home. And this week they're working home from Mexico, and they're having the best time of their life, and they can't imagine not working from home. And obviously in our industry, you can't work from home.
Yeah, she was talking about her boss whenever she worked for the gas station, not the current employer boss. She was talking about a separate boss, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, so saw on your LinkedIn that you posted how much you love working from home and you're working from home on vacation right now from a different location. You do know that we do not work from home in this industry. Can you please tell me why you applied? And he was like, oh, I just really missed the aspect of getting to actually work with people. And I feel like I'm just another number when I work. And my previous boss at a different job was like, okay. So case in point of actual reason why you should be very careful about what you post.
Yeah, vetting the people, and even looking at criminal records and stuff. Yeah, you can be forthcoming, but the better you can make a first impression if you are a potential employee, that might close the deal right there.
Well, I know a girl that she had a private Instagram, and she had like 100 followers and something, but she was working at this place, and this girl that she did not like came in and applied, and she took a picture of her application with the girl's name on it. Mm-hmm. I had of her throwing it in the trash can, and it was like, fuck you, you stupid bitch. I would never give you your application. She got fired. Duh.
You think?
Yeah, it's like, even though you have a private something, like, people can still find that. It's not that hard to find.
Yeah, use good judgment too when you're using social media, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, and so where I think that a lot of people in our industry really screw up is people that are smart business owners, guys that are making 6, 7, 8 figures a year, that are arguing with dumbasses on social media. Like, they're letting that get in there, or they're making snide remarks and they're arguing on Facebook, or they're arguing about politics, or because they think that they're so much smarter than everybody else, and so they have to get their point across, and they just want people to see them arguing and how much smarter they are than everybody else. But what happens when you argue with an idiot on social media is there's a proverb about this. I can't remember exactly what verse in the Bible it says it, but he who argues with a fool is also a fool. Mm-hmm. And there's another verse that Jesus said that he who lays with dogs gets fleas. So if you're out there and you are arguing with people in a real way about politics, or just recently we saw a guy that Casey and I both know is a smart guy, a respectable guy, but he's, getting pissy with people on Facebook about oh, well, that contractor shouldn't have done it this way. He didn't have this permit or that, and he should have, and he's just ragging on a dude. And it's like, the guy did everything right, but this guy wanted to look so much smarter because he was mad because he didn't get that work.
Yeah, I've seen that. And a lot of times too, these supposed successful business people, it looks good that they have a ton of employees, a rock and roll in business, but when they engage, a lot of times they're not engaging with idiots. A lot of times the supposed idiots that they're engaging with are, in all rights, might be smarter than they are, but they're the face of these companies.
Yeah.
And they are the face of the companies. And they're going out there making themselves look like asses or tough guys and arguing over shit that they really shouldn't even touch. Pretty much just stay the hell off of.
Yeah.
Digging themselves holes. Well, what happens is, I've seen it and I know it, man. You get people dependent on these assholes that are running these companies that, who in the hell I'm talking about. People who depend on a paycheck from them, or depend on something, whether it's monetary or material wise, where they're going to be yes people with them.
Yeah.
They're going to be, you know what? You're right, man. Yeah, you're right. When in all reality, if their paycheck did not depend on that person, they'd be like, man, fuck you, dude. You're being a dick, man. Get off of social media. I mean, I like working for you and stuff. This money is good, but dude, you're representing this company the wrong way, dude.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
But it still goes on, man. And you talk about echo chambers. There's those echo chambers with those people. They obviously don't have people surrounding them saying, you know what, dude, you need to settle the hell down, dude. Just don't engage. You're the face of this company. We can grow and we can look a lot better, dude. Stop engaging in this crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with that. And it's just, it's whenever they either are arguing with idiots, even if that other person they're arguing with is not an idiot. If two people are arguing on social media, you're probably both idiots. Now, because you can't have a true debate through text. You can argue a little bit back and forth. If it's a little back and forth and then it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. But if they sat down in person, they'd probably have a lot more in common than they think.
That's the way with the world right now, I think, with all of us.
Yeah, and the hard part about social media is it's so this side or that side, and people start arguing with someone, and people like their comment. And it's like, oh yeah, dude, people liked my comment. Yeah.
Reshare.
And then they're just going back and forth. It's, oh, you destroyed that guy. And it's just, that guy's going to go home and he's not going to think about you again after tonight. Like, he didn't care that you were, but now you look like an ass on Facebook for no reason. And, I hear people, because we live in a small town. So whenever business owners are doing that, man, and they're representing their town or themselves like that, people in this town say, man, I don't really want to use that guy because I don't like the way that he represents his company.
Dude, that is the common word with every person I've talked to about certain instances lately.
Yeah. It's
that
just
common theme right there.
Yeah. And again, it's smart people that make a lot of money, but they don't. And I'm not saying you should censor yourself. I mean, I believe that you should take stances on certain things. Now, if you're a construction company and you don't give a shit about, like, say, abortion laws, maybe you shouldn't take a stance on that. If it's something that's super passionate to you on one side or the other, then you as a business owner, maybe not do it directly through your company's page, but you can talk about it and say, hey, this is why I believe what I believe. Not argue with people about it, but just say, be reasonable and express your viewpoints. That's different. I'm not saying you should suppress your viewpoints. Or if you have a political candidate that you're like, hey, this guy is good for our industry, here's why.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with sharing that. And I believe that you should take stances on certain things. I think that there's things you should just keep yourself out of and be above reproach. But like, if you're arguing about stupid stuff because there's a new guy in town that's no threat to your business because he's a little guy, but you think that he's going to be some big threat, or you just are trying to swing your dick around and you're sitting here like, oh yeah, well, how many clients do you have? What's your license number? That makes you look like a jackass.
It's gross. So when that happened with me, what did I do? I didn't even engage. I just said a 1-2 little deal. I got out of it and I let my friends do the fighting for me because, it's not worth it.
Yeah, dude, be above reproach.
Take the high road. I've heard Neil Tyson, probably the only astrophysicist that I know, the famous one, Neil deGrasse Tyson, but he mentioned something about, what do you think about people the flat earthers that are talking about the flat? He's like, dude, I don't even give them the time of day.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, what do you have to say about, dude? I don't engage nonsense like that.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Don't deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, he knows that the earth is flat and he's not.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, you can't engage in petty bullshit, dude. Like, I don't have the time, the mental energy. Like, yeah, sure. We'll post stuff on the Dirty and Driven page that's like funny. It's, like if a bot comments on one of our posts, especially like the mental health posts that I try to take fairly seriously. Yeah. There'll be a bunch of, follow this person. They helped me turn 5,000 into a 6-figure income. I will always respond with fuck off.
Dude, I see that with like good, genuine posts too about helping save, something like very serious. Then the bots get in there and
promote it on
make up to $5,000 a day. Just come to this site and
we love your profile. Come collab with us.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times they've offered me to be the top female entrepreneur of the year.
Must be that hair.
Yeah, it must be the hair.
I saw you from the backside.
I told him I was going to Leah Thomas this bitch. Oh, man. But, yeah, man. So I think it's fun and funny debates. Like, I'm not even saying don't be crude. Act like yourself, man. Be yourself. Don't be fake. But I'm just saying, like, be above that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you can have funny debates.
Be yourself and stuff, but I still, although I'm a smart ass a lot and I have my dirty humor and all that BS, because I think a lot of us do, I do know that I'm still being not scrutinized, but viewed out in public on social media.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that you just don't engage in. You don't
Right.
do. You might have that potty mouth or that dirty mind behind the scenes, or the engaging shit. Keep that back here because you're still representing yourself, potential employment, potential customers, potential everything.
Yeah, dude, just save it for the podcast.
No, I mean, there you go.
It's different because here we're just having a conversation that might just so happen to go online.
Yeah, but here, compared to what I'm talking about, like, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
big time, like threatening, engaging, smack talking,
Yeah.
calling people's names out and their license or supposed license number, just all that shit. Dude, it's a terrible look.
If anybody ever wanted to like get rude or snippy or start arguing with me, I'd be like, all right, come on the show, man. Like, let's talk about it. Like, whenever you're on social media, you have 90 characters to, oh, you're such a fucking asshole piece of, and you're wrong and but it's like when it's on the air, it's, why do you feel this way? And what I've learned, dude, whether it be politics and I'm arguing with someone that's, I'm so super liberal, I hate everything on the freaking right, or it's, I'm so super liberal, I hate everything on the, or I'm so fucking Republican that I don't like any liberal freaking if you really ask, like, okay, what do you want to see as the end goal? It's, well, I want to see this, and then you kind of argue with them back, and then it's, wait, we have the same goal. We just have different ideas to get there. Yeah, we're not so different after all.
That Republican impersonation, that guy sounded pretty kick-ass, man.
Yeah.
I liked him. That's the type of guy I'd have a
Why
beer
did
with
that
right
liberal
there.
person sound like me?
No comment.
My wife does that to me.
There's jokes I want to make, but I won't. And it actually has nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
but
my wife will do that to me, and she goes, "Are you not going to say anything?" And I said, "Well, I was told if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, and I'm not going to say anything."
That almost makes it worse.
Exactly. That's the reverse.
My mom always told me.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, so you have nothing nice to say?
Yeah. So then that's one of them nights where y'all are sleeping back to back, no talking.
Only butts touching.
Yeah.
No, that means you still love each other if your butts are touching.
Aw.
It's
James got like the biggest king bed ever, so he could be a mile away from me if he's ever mad.
yeah.
Then you probably let
It doesn't
your
matter,
animal,
dude.
probably let
I
your
get
animals
like
jump
3
up.
inches on that bed.
Right?
Victoria gets about 10 feet.
Dude, I think that's common in every, at least,
Yeah.
marriage.
Women and dogs, dude, they just want to take up the whole bed.
The guy,
What the heck? Why are you equating women with dogs?
Well, to be fair, our dog is also a woman.
But still.
a guy usually normally gets a quarter of the bed, and the rest is to the
Oh,
spouse.
that's such a load of baloney.
Yeah.
Do the
No.
spouse cover both
Yes.
genders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but
So
I don't know if I want to break this one down. If you have 2 dudes and you're saying men get a quarter of the bed and then the
No,
spouse,
spouse. You just say spouse.
no, good
but
point.
I'm saying, but then there's
yeah, so you'd have half the bed open. Well, it depends on.
so
no, it
there's
depends on.
25%,
So they each get a
25%,
quarter.
and
But it
then,
depends on who the butch is.
I don't know.
What
if you
one
have
is
to.
the one's the bear, one's the bear or the butch, then the other one. So the bear or butch would only get a quarter of the bed. Then the 3/4
so
would
then
go
what
to the other
about
one.
what about 2 girls? Do they just
okay,
sleep on it horizontally?
We're just gonna cut this entire part
Oh,
out.
have you 2 girls? Have you seen how if you take 2 scissors?
Oh my.
Oh my
And you-
gosh! Don't
No,
get
I'm
stopped
trying to
there,
show
please.
you. Imagine this being the bed, and this
You're
is 2
gonna
pairs of
cut
scissors.
this part out.
What?
I can't with you guys. This is horrible.
What?
Okay,
So anyways-
listeners, weigh in, please, because now we just need to know. So, anyways,
I'm lost.
because I do know that we have we have plenty of listeners.
They call that starfish. I'm sorry, the starfish. When you starfish. In the bed.
I starfish.
That's what I meant.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 2 girls, like, how do they? If they both take up the whole bed, then how does that work?
Yes, if they take up 3/4 of the bed, but 2 of them are in there.
Yeah,
You just overlap.
It's gonna have
just-
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said the scissor
Math.
analogy or the starfish.
and math is not mathing. Oh shit, dude! All right, we're at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
and I think that I'm gonna give it the old Top Gear on that bombshell. We're over.
By God.
Victoria, you got any final thoughts?
No.
Casey?
By God.
By God.